Hi, my name is Andy Russell. Thank you all for coming here today to learn about personal computer security. I'm sure you all are wondering or heard the terms malware, hackers, and a biggie, identity theft. It's all scary, nasty stuff. I'm sure you realize the gravity of it after hearing about what happened to Target. Terrible. But that's what happens with people with no lives get a computer. So I want to begin with hackers. What's a hacker? What do they do? Why should I care? Well, uslegal.com defines hackers as intentionally accessing a computer without authorization or exceeds authorized access. Fancy, legal term, whatever. It's essentially someone breaking in your computer, gain access to your hard drive, your personal files, your pictures, whatever you have on your computer, they can take. Terrible stuff. Later, we'll talk about how to make it very, very tedious and difficult for them to do that. But first, I want to talk about identity theft. It's the biggest concern, especially for Americans these days. How do you protect yourself? How am I safe? What can I do? Well, first, let's define it by what Google says is the fraudulent acquisition and use of a personal, private, identifying information, usually for financial gain. No, that doesn't make much sense to me either. I don't know why they have to use big terms. Essentially, someone stealing your identity information such as credit cards, license, social security, and they use it to steal your money. It's terrible. Terrible stuff. They ruin your life doing this. So I want to focus mostly on how to prevent this from happening. So let's get into that. First, you need strong passwords to protect your identity. A strong password means it's more difficult for the hackers to gain access. But we'll talk about how to set a good one and good versus bad and what should and shouldn't you do. But also things to consider would be to store your personal information, like when you go out of town or something. I mean, you don't need your social security card everywhere you go. Come on. So there's certain ways. You can buy a home safe. I mean, they run $150, which beats your whole bank account, you know? I would hate to have my whole identity stolen, all my money, everything, because I didn't want to buy a safe or something. Or you can go safety deposit box. I mean, they're, what, $10 a month or something? It's worth it, beating you have your identity stolen. And here's something that's a little more convenient. Guys, men, most of your pants have a back pocket and a button with that back pocket. And that happens to be where we keep our wallet. Well, we never use that button, do we? Ladies, women, your purses have zippers. But it's so inconvenient to unzip it, dig in your bag, zip it back and hand over your stuff, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to do that. I know, I understand. It makes sense. Well, let's just say someone walks in and knocks you guys in the back. And they're like, hey, buddy, watch out, you know? And then you reach back like, hey, that fool stole my wallet. And then he's long gone. Well, that magic button back there would make it very difficult for them to steal it. They wouldn't bother reaching back there, yanking the button out, then pulling it out. That'd be very weird, first off. Second off, you would notice. And ladies, when someone walks by, they just walk by all close, all casual, and stick their hand in your purse really fast and grab whatever they can. With a zipper there, they can't do that. It's common, it's basic security, that's a little inconvenient, but it's worth it in the end. And another thing to consider is when you're at home. When you go onto a website, Is it legit? A lot of professional hackers create fake websites that are designed to look exactly like the real one. So you enter in the same password and your login in the same spot as you would the original one. But when you hit send, it goes to the hacker's computer and presto, they have your information. Then they log on the real one and take all your money. It's very nasty stuff. But the people who invented the internet came up with this great idea of having a single name web address, the little thing up at the top, that has to be different for every single website. And there are key identifiers to know which one's legit, which one's real. For most banks, they are .com. Most open to and most prone to attacks, sadly. But normally names, like let's use First Bank as an example. They would probably do capital F, lowercase, first IRST, and then they would use capital B, A, and K for bank. And they would make it one word, .com, because their name is First Bank. Well, and that's just basic programming for programmers to do that. We don't need to worry about that. So that's taken. No one else can use that. A hacker would do maybe a capital F and then lowercase the rest of it. You won't pay much attention to that, so you probably can sneak by and get away with that. But that's why you need to be mindful that they can do that. And you need to make sure it's a legit site. And one of the ways, it's a little inconvenient, but it's worth it, is to email the bank and just ask for a legit link to their website. They will email it to you back. And then you just bookmark that or save that or make it a favorite, and you just use that from now on. That's the safest way to do it, and it makes life a whole lot easier. I mean, you have to wait a little bit, and it's good to do it when you're not in a hurry to pay a bill or something. But if you consider that, you'll be a lot better off than if you just, is this the right site? Oh, well, I gotta just pay this. Let's just do it and get it over with. No, please don't. So let's talk about passwords. I know they're passwords. There's no real art to them. You enter in a birthday or your name or your pet's name, your child's birthday, or you use the term password. Please don't do that first off. We'll just start with that. Please do not use password for your password. But there's all these different accounts that you need to set up good passwords in. These are the main ones. Logging into your computer. Accounts and programs such as your Apple ID, your email, your online banking, etc. And your internet and router. I'll explain all this. But I want to emphasize this. Never use the same password for multiple websites. Never, ever do that. Here's why. Let's say a hacker got bored, hacked into your email, got it. So he knows your password for your email. He logs in to your Facebook because he knows your name. He uses the same password as your email. And he gets in your Facebook. Oh boy. Now you can see all your friends, your messages, your pictures. You have your whole life on Facebook. Well, most people do. Even people have their cell phone numbers. And, well, that's why it's important not to, because they can gain your friends list. See all your friends, get their names, and bingo, that's 40 more plus clients for them to try to hack. And they can use your name to impersonate you and ask for their password or something of that nature, your accounts or whatever. And seeing how they're a friend of yours, saying, oh, you can trust him or her, we'll just send it to them. No. Terrible. And that's why you never give out passwords to anyone. Never. So there's this website called LastPass.com. There's a free version of it and a paid version of it. I suggest the free version because it's free. But how it works is it's very safe, secure, trusted, popular with all the major computer companies. And what you do is you enter in your accounts and then your passwords. And then you create a master password. And from now on, you just have to remember that one master password for all your accounts. You type it into gmail.com or you type it in Facebook, and presto, you're in. It replaces it, and you're in. So you only have to remember one password. And there's a free version of it. Of course, there's some limits to it, but it's free. And if you like it enough, go ahead and pay for it. But it's totally up to you. I think the free version is just fine, but you may have other preferences, which is perfectly fine. And it's LastPass, LastPass.com. Welcome to have a look sometime, So, this I really want to focus on. A good and a bad password. Most people, on average, use something they can remember. It's logical, so they keep it simple. Birthday. Not many people know my birthday, so I'll just use that, the whole year, and it'd be hard to know that because someone has to know who I am first. Excellent point. Not true. People can gain your birthday in a simple, easy way. If they're able to hack into your account, your Facebook normally has your birthday on it. Presto. Another thing is plain words. Like, let's use golf player. Play golf. You're a golf player. So you use that as a password. Someone who knows you or knows enough about you to know you play golf, like, what's some favorite hobbies this man or woman plays or does? Golf. Golf, access denied. Golf player, access granted. Seconds. Put seconds. So there are all kinds of ways to create passwords. You just got to be a little creative, and you got to remember it. And remember, there's LastPass, so you can quickly enter it into your LastPass section and have it remembered. So that way you can create just a simple master password. But remember, make it challenging. You will remember it. It just takes a couple of re-enters to do it, 10 times at most. Now, lastly, I want to bring your attention to a unique little security feature that most people don't consider. Is your webcam, or some kind of webcam. Most laptops, even tablets and phones, come with them pre-installed. But most desktops you have to buy it, but they're inexpensive. And it can record a live video and save it to your hard drive. And the best thing is, no one knows. It's undetectable. They just think it's just sitting there on top of the computer, all fine and dandy, not even recording. So I like to show you a little video. It's about 3 to 4 minutes of why a webcam is good. Some dog, right? by a cat. The doggy door. They came in through the doggy door. That's how they don't even realize the webcam's running. Yeah, officers are there. And there's the police. What y'all think about that in a minute? Okay. So let's talk about that in a minute. First off, let's start off by saying those two, they weren't so bright. I think that guy stole some cheese from the refrigerator. But people can get into your house is the point here. And they came in through a doggy door. And if they were smart, or sorry, that was a little rude. Maybe if they were a little wiser, if they knew what they were doing, we'll go with that. If they knew what they were doing, then they might have saw a wallet or a credit card you used last night to pay a bill. They might have saw a license or your social security card laying out. And they could have taken it. But they had a video surveillance of them by simply using the resources they had, the webcam. And how she was able to see that when she was not at home, something called remote access, where you can access your computer remotely from a different location using an internet connection, which is easy to set up. You just Google it and you'll figure out how to do that. So, although the internet's not required, the only way it would be required is for the remote access to view from a different location. And some webcams do come with that kind of software, and you can also just Google how to figure that out. It's not hard. And it also records the video to your hard drive. So you can hand the hard drive over to the police, and they can analyze it, take the video from it, give it back to you, put it back in, and then they can just simply, straight to jury, court, convict them, or go to prison. Simple as that. All because you had a little $10 webcam recording. And just remember one thing. Those robbers may not always be them. Thank you all for coming today. I hope you learned something. Before you all leave, I have a handout for you guys that talks about some free software that will help secure your computer, build up what we call layers. So hackers who try to hack in, they have to go through each individual layer over and over. They'll get bored. They'll move on. And the last thought I want to leave you all with is if everyone who wasn't a hacker, of course, did that, imagine what that would do. What would the hackers do? Would they give up? Stop hacking? Go to the government? Hack for them legally? Or will they get tougher? Think about that. Thank you all for coming today. Again, my name's Andy Russell. Have a great day.